Hello everyone and welcome to our channel Claim What's Yours. I'm your host Vaughan Reinecker, and I wanted to share a circumstance with you today following a discussion with one of our existing clients. We were chatting about the personal insurances and the capacity in the market, something we've spoken about earlier, that prices of certain types of cover have reduced substantially while others go up. And the one in particular related to our client's a property that he was occupying in his personal capacity. And when he compared the premiums on his policy, one personal insurer had quoted him X amount of premium, let's say R1,000 a month, and another insurer, also on a personal property, had quoted him 3 times that for the same type of risk. And he said to us, well, I simply went in and made some changes on that policy and took the building off this one personal policy and just put it onto a commercial policy. So although the premiums have reduced now, we know that as a fact, the covers are not the same. So if you could just share with you the difference between personal insurance and commercial insurance. So in your personal capacity, in your private home, when you get home, your house doesn't have stock and storage and machinery and fuels and fumes and electricity and extra work and activity taking place. So it's a private residence, and the risk, because there's no heat and there's no combustible materials, the risk is substantially lower than that offered by a commercial risk. You look at a factory, you go into a factory, there's heat, there's welding, there's grinding, there's fuels, there's diesel, there's generators, there's machines stamping and stomping and pressing and getting hot, and there's electrical wiring that's drawing current, and the DB board's getting hot. So the risk is substantially different. So the difference between a personal policy covering a building and a commercial policy covering a building, although the premiums are cheaper on commercial, the covers are completely different. And that's what you need to be aware of. So this particular client of ours, a very astute man, he knows the risks, that the covers are not the same. So when we look at a personal policy, there are a whole lot of extensions and clauses on a personal policy which are thrown in for free by your insurer. Those extensions are not available on a commercial policy because of the nature of risk, because it involves commercial application. You're using it to generate money, whereas your house, you're using it to rest and relax. So we would say to you, when you look at insurance, please be aware that the cover that you get on a personal policy and the premiums may be higher because the covers are greater than you would on a commercial policy. And you need to be aware of that and take that into account. So this particular client was doing it off his own bat. He was placing his own insurance, and he is the only person who has to take responsibility for getting it wrong or not getting all the extensions included. Whereas us as FSPs, we have to advise our clients and say, look, you've got a quote, is it like for like? So are we doing a commercial versus a personal quote? And if it's not like for like, we then need to say, but hold on, the covers that we're offering are substantially better. If you want less cover, I can do it for you, and then I can get you less premium. But sometimes the quotes that we get from our clients, they just see a number. Hey, this is much cheaper. You say, yes, it is cheaper because the cover is not the same. And we need to take responsibility for that and properly explain it to you as our client to say, this is why the covers are different. If you don't want those covers, please agree that you don't want them, sign here, and I'll change them for you. And when a claim happens and there is an extension that you would have been able to claim under and now you haven't, please don't be angry with us. When we spoke to you, we let you know that those particular covers are not in place and we can't buy them back on a commercial policy. So if you've ever come across that and you'd like to have a look or ask a broker, FSP, to do a review of your policy and compare covers between personal and the wider cover, personal capacity and commercial policies, like, subscribe, and send us an email. Thanks.